Yeah? Is it boring?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. This
You can play some pit lord underneath it or something. Come on.
Anyways,
Well, it has to be some cello to cello the fuck
there
out.
he is. Shostakovich.
Yeah, put some Shostakovich.
And that's the fucking name of the episode. Cello the fuck out!
The Shug, Shane Hollister. Logan, Ineichen. Lyndon, Ehlers. Wrastlin with music and life for life.
Wrastlin Music and Life, episode 38. Man, we're moving along. Not really. But we got there, and we got some special guests, or special guest. The other guy's been here a few times, but yeah, we got Emily, the second sister!
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Hell yeah. And everybody here is tired, so I made coffee.
Yep.
So if you need something, buddy.
No, I'm good, man. Been up for a while.
Yeah.
So
You've been having adventures.
yeah, at a show in Chicago Friday, main evented that. And
We will get into it.
Yeah,
So good.
whatever. Just losing my voice.
How do we start this thing, couple? By the way, I want to apologize before we even start. Alicia Marie, I didn't even get to the fact that she literally plays music and she's fucking good. And all we did was me and Shug just went, oh, I'm in love with her the whole time. Drunk as
Said the same thing 5 times in a row.
I haven't even listened to that episode yet. And
It's only 38 minutes. Yeah. So
that's what I assumed.
It's less
After
than
what you
38
told me, I
fucking
had
miles.
assumed it was probably.
It's exactly what was going through my head, by the way.
It's only 38 fucking miles. There's a lot of inside jokes.
You walk the gutter.
Exactly.
Walk the gutter.
In that episode, I think we did. That was after at least 25 beers
We were
for me.
We were fucked up. Yeah.
I don't know how I got to work the next day, but I did. And I worked
here.
good. Anyway, we got Emily in house. So I guess the first question is, how did you guys meet each other? Because I legit don't know.
Oh, well, this is a fabulous story. So,
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
well, I worked at Analog downtown starting in 2019, and so that's how I ended up meeting him in person for the first time. It was February 2020. It was my ex-husband's birthday party.
Oh,
and
wow.
He invited Lyndon, and that's how.
And I didn't know anybody there either. I got invited just because we were in the Applebee's Go Hard Facebook.
So we had been
Which we talked
acquainted
a little bit about.
Yeah, so we had been acquainted prior to meeting in person through that group, and because you posted some shit posty absolute garbage, and I'm like, who is this? Because I clicked on your profile and it said lives in Davenport, Iowa. So so that's how we became Facebook friends first.
Yeah.
Nice.
She was funny, and I was funny. Pretty much.
Or
Is that what continues?
Well, yeah. Today? So, so I went to that birthday party because I was expecting to run into a mutual friend.
Yeah.
There, and I was like, I haven't gone out and done anything in a while. Maybe I'll see Hayden out there. And that motherfucker wasn't even there. And she's the first one I talked to.
Yeah, I was working that night.
Nice.
So, and Eric, my ex-husband, it was his party, and then my ex-father-in-law came into the town as well. And it's just so it's about midnight, and Lyndon is 7 Long Islands deep.
Oh, so he is just talking your
As I
fucking
kept
ear off.
and the mushrooms kicked in. So he's sitting at the bar and he's talking to my ex-father-in-law, and he's just going like this, looking at the ceiling.
I had my pit vipers on, and I was. Well, what happened was I hadn't gone out in forever, and I was nervous about going out into public. So I ate the mushrooms, and I Ubered down to the bar, and just in my nervousness, I just started ordering Long Island iced teas, and she was like really
Not a bad order.
She's adorable.
Yeah.
And I had like my Hellhammer shirt on, and she's like, nice shirt.
I'm gonna
I
get
did
this kid
say
nice,
that.
nice shirt up.
Yeah, I was like,
Was she being sarcastic or
No, she was I knew that she was like into the same kind of music.
Oh,
for the most
creepy
part.
much. Creeped
So
on her. We all creeped on
We
her.
creeped on each other.
Significant others.
and so I started
the
ordering.
Hellhammer that night. Go ahead.
Long Island iced teas, and she made. I mean,
Yeah.
it's some really good fucking Long Island iced teas, dog.
Were they
And-
better than Max Tavern, Gary?
Yes. Well,
Are you kidding me?
they were
That's a
comparable
tall
to
order.
the second level
Yeah.
Max Tavern Long Islands that they start serving you like later.
Oh, they're the
Remember?
best level.
You when they're in the
When you
big
put on a
glass-
blonde wig
Yeah.
before you have blonde
oh
hair.
God, yeah.
and but that's what everything she made me that night was.
Nice.
So
anyways.
he's sitting at the bar
Yeah.
talking to my ex-father-in-law, and he's looking at the ceiling, and I just kind of slide him a glass of water, and I'm just like, okay. There you go.
I'm pretty sure I just saw it in the corner of my eye too. It was just like,
Like, it's vodka, man. Oh, yeah, you're not together then.
no.
Yeah.
This was like, I mean, really, this was
Year
like
and a half
2 years.
before.
Yeah, something like that before
Yeah.
we ever actually got together.
Okay.
Because I ended up dating like Brienne like after a little bit after that, and we're both in and out of relationships. Knowing
Just
each
kept up
other.
a friendship.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the best way.
Yep.
Friendship before, that's the best way.
And
I get it.
I tell you what, those fucking Long Islands hit me like all at once later on. Like, luckily, I'm glad that I wasn't in her presence at that time, because I ended up at the daiquiri factory in the district when it was still out there.
Yeah.
And oh boy, that was rough.
Did you order another drink there?
I think so.
Oh God!
I think I did. I don't remember what though, or maybe somebody got me.
These
one.
are more cold. Maybe I'll be
Dude,
okay.
I dropped my pit vipers walking in and didn't even realize it.
no.
And some guy like picked them up and gave them to me. He's like, "Hey, you dropped these." I was like,
Really?
"Oh, thanks."
Oh,
This
wow.
is before they were cool. So,
Oh,
it
yeah,
would've
you
been-
did
it would've
tap them
happened
before they
now.
blew up.
What would have happened now? The
Somebody
motherfucker
had
would
to
have
rescue
shit,
her.
bro.
Yeah, he just came in like a champ.
Yeah, and I was 2 hours late to work the next day. Like, I called into work while I was
Where were you
in the
working then?
shower. Same place now. I was in the shower at Second
Forking
Street,
it.
and I was vomiting on myself, and
Yeah.
because I went home
Been
and I
there.
was up till like 4 or 5 a.m. Still, because then the drunk kind of like.
Just thinking about Emily the whole time, like, oh my God.
Like, I don't know what
She
I
was
was
so
thinking.
good. She gave me the
I
best
know.
drinks ever. We're going to make a family. Long Island.
I definitely like put some cigarettes out directly on the coffee table. Like, that's the kind of mode I was in when I got home. But yeah,
Smoked in the living room.
It was fucking
Damn.
hard.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that
no,
was a
this was
different
like this was definitely the start of smoking in the house.
Oh, I didn't
Like,
know
you
that
guys
became a thing.
were, you guys had, because this is well after bruh, and like me and Josh were smoking cigars in the house.
Yeah, I don't care.
So,
Cigars are bad.
what
They're different.
number coffee table was this? Like 5?
It's the one I still have. It's the green, the one with
okay.
the green legs, the heavy duty one that we couldn't break.
That's going to be a hot collectible. The best way to say it.
I don't want to get rid of it. We still have it.
Yeah, it's still our coffee.
It's
table.
what? Yeah, it's what we
Put that bitch on Etsy. You won't have to work for the rest of your life, brother. You know? So obviously you're thinking about her, years go by, you said. What's the next connection? I mean, obviously Emily was thinking about you way more than you were thinking about her. She was
don't
like,
know.
that guy I got fucked up at the bar. Every bartender does this, by the way. Every time I walked in when I was single, they'd be like, man, that guy was so cool. That guy that
I'm
drank
sure
everything
exactly.
under
Every
the
time.
table.
That guy that
Every
creepily got up
time,
behind me and
every
started
time a
massaging my
bartender meets
shoulders.
Logan, Every time.
Well, the next part of the story, so it's about mid-July 2021, like probably like 2 weeks before we get together. So our anniversary is July 29th is our
Oh,
our
what a
day.
random date. I like that.
Yeah.
It is. Well,
So I had just gotten out of the hospital and I was like kind of like down and out and just like feeling alone. I had got out of a, pretty bad relationship. So, and he messages me out of the blue and he's like, oh, he sent me a song. Like, we should hang out and listen to music. And I'm like, yeah, totally. I'd love that. So then it started like, just us sending pictures back and forth of like CDs and like, he didn't even let me finish.
CDs, huh?
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Is that what the kids call it nowadays?
Oh, my God. She sent him necrophagus. Oh.
I did though. I did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was.
Way to pull that out of your ass.
See, the one that like
I was there the whole time, and I just knew.
He was creeping you guys.
Sending him necrophagus.
well, the one that like I thought I was like, well, I have the Liebach remix Morbid Angel album, which is like one of the rarest ones, and I'm like, he'll be impressed. I have the Liebach remix.
I didn't even know what it was. She was telling me about it. Like, I thought it was something else.
And it was funny because at the time on my shelf, I had all my Yu-Gi-Oh card tins sitting there, and I just took a picture of it, and I'm like, ignore the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Sorry. Like,
Yu-Gi-Oh's bad.
I was super into Magic at the time, too, so it was like, oh, well, let me tell you about some Magic. So...
I forgot about when you wanted me to do cello stuff too at one point because I sent you that video of me playing.
Yeah, we had.
So I think that's the first time I seen you.
Yeah,
and I was like, "This is already good."
Yeah,
go ahead.
I had talked to her at one point or another about maybe doing like an intro track for the new Pit Lord because that's when we were first starting to like kind of get things sort of together for that. I was like, I really want a really cool like sort of an orchestral intro, and then it didn't happen. But then eventually she recorded on the new album.
Yeah, on the new album, completely.
Which is amazing, by the way. Props to you.
Thank you.
That is fucking awesome shit.
It was the
Probably
smoothest.
the best track,
it was the
actually.
smoothest.
And I'm not saying that biased. I'm just saying it's the best track.
Well, there's a interesting about that track is I didn't know what I would be doing on it. So mostly I just add like an extra layer to the beginning,
right?
Because that's where all the cello is. But when I was learning the song, I did learn Dan's guitar solo entirely.
She learned the whole fucking song.
I did. Nice. I learned the whole thing. No, it took me. No,
at least 3 notes, right? Just kidding, Dan.
Well, you sent me the track. You sent me the track over Dropbox.
Yeah.
And I listened to it a couple times. I tried to slow it down a little bit to make sure I was getting all the notes in.
Yep.
And then I just kind of learned Dan's guitar solo. And then you came home from work and I was like, watch this. And you're like, well, you didn't need to. And I'm like, well, I did.
One part.
So
we did do. There are like 4 cellos on that part.
Yeah, so we layered like several different notes.
The layers and especially cello, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's powerful, loud fucking instrument. And then her cello is just, I mean, it's aged to that point of being like phenomenally loud and cool. And just
probably the one thing that people always forget is how expensive those fucking instruments can be.
Fucking huge, man.
Oh my god!
My cello was handmade for me.
Oh
so
wow!
I got it
That's
when I was like 15, turning 16. So no one had played the instrument prior. So I'm pretty sure, like, all instruments are like this, but especially with like classical instruments, like you grow into them and they mold to your personality.
Exactly.
So it's really important that when you're investing in such an expensive instrument that you're at the skill level to be able to make the instrument grow with you.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had outgrown my old cello at that point. Like I couldn't get the sound I wanted out of it, no matter what kind of strings I had on it.
Been there.
But yeah,
The strings are a part you got to talk about because it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
A set of strings that I need. I typically use 2 Larsons, Spirocore, and a tungsten C string. So that's about $350 for the
Expensive.
full
The
set of
strings, holy
Just
shit.
the strings, brother.
Yeah, I bought her one new string recently. And it cost $45.
Holy
the skinniest string.
Yeah, and that was the highest string he bought. The C string, the lowest string. I usually get like a silver bound tungsten one. It's about $109.
Yeah.
For that, yeah.
I bought Alicia a jazz sax, and I was like, fuck. Why did I do that? Greatest present ever.
Yeah,
Because she learned some gunship, and it was fucking awesome.
I love saxophone.
I think Lyndon was there that night. We played a little bit, but maybe not. I was shit loud.
I've
In
never
spirit.
seen her play saxophone.
In spirit, Lyndon was there. In spirit.
Yeah, we got
There
the
was-
cops called on
there
us
was-
instantly. That's one of the loudest fucking instruments ever, dude. It just cuts through the wall like instantly. Like as soon as the people are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, my sister plays saxophone.
Okay.
So, yeah, she does soprano sax, alto sax. So so I'm very aware of how loud a saxophone is too.
It's
So yeah.
so many frequencies, that cut right through.
Yep.
But I will say though, like especially you guys meeting, and then and obviously let's get back to that because we didn't get to the second part. But this is Wrestling with Music and Life, and we go on tangents,
Yeah, we do
brothers
it
and
all the
sisters.
time.
I'm just so excited to have sisters now. Anyway, but straight up, man, you obviously you were thinking about him for 2 years, like you said,
Yes.
constantly.
Constantly.
Like,
It was the
I
same.
swayed so good when he was drunk.
We were very like Jim and Pam.
Yeah, that's the
Jim
best
and
way to
Pam.
put it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, don't make me
like-
cry.
No, but think about that.
That's what it
That
was.
makes sense.
Okay.
That's exactly what it was because we were both in and out of different relationships, but then just like
Well, it's interesting too
we're not
because
scummy, so we kept our distance.
yeah.
Which is good.
Well, it's like the issues that we both had in our own like respective relationships at the time, like ended up like paralleling a lot. Cause like when we got together and like, we were just talking about like stuff we were traumatized by more or less.
Wrestling with life.
We just, yeah. And we were just like, no way, me too. And then it's like, this is like really wild that it's like, our universe was like on the same path almost. So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We went on so we started talking that night and then we just never stopped talking.
Oh
for
yeah,
like a
it was
solid
like
week.
yeah,
And
it was probably like 12 hours a day.
yeah, and she was still like recovering from being in the hospital, so we had to wait like a week before, or she.
Well, I wanted to wait.
I wanted to go out immediately. As soon
I
as
look
it
like
became,
a potato, like so. Well, because when you're like hooked up to like 4 IVs, like your ankles are getting like this big.
Okay.
And like I was just like swollen, and like my right leg was still kind of like goofy.
That's a serious thing.
Well, because my mom came out here when I was in the hospital, and she's like, "Well, you might have problems with your right leg for a little bit because it's farthest away from your heart."
Oh,
and
wow.
my mom's, and I was like, that makes sense why it doesn't feel like my blood's moving that much, but yeah, and it's like I feel like I couldn't like walk around, and like I had cankles, and I was like, you need to wait for me to lose all this water weight before going on a date. So
It's a woman thing.
I got that right after my cheat day.
What did
I've got cankles for
we
sure.
We probably talked for like half a week before we were both like, "You're cute. You're cute too."
You're cute, yeah.
And then it was like. And then I was like, "Let's go out." And then, then it
we
was
went out for sushi.
You have to wait.
Yeah.
We have
Then
to wait a
Cupid
week.
showed up and shot them both.
It happened right away. It happened like 2 years before that. And
Those Long Islands.
that's the ironic thing now is like both like she doesn't drink at all. I don't.
Right.
I drink
Rarely.
once a week anymore. But I mean that wasn't
because of the podcast he drinks.
pretty much it.
So
And-
depressing. He brings a beer.
Oh my god! And then he's yawning halfway
These fucking
through.
guys. Oh my
these drinks
god.
are-
We do get-
Yeah.
We're
that's all
usually
right.
running around all day Sunday before I come in.
Yeah.
He did say that last time he was in here and he was yawning. He was
Yeah.
like,
And,
well, I was going to like, what did you say? You went to Goodwill or whatever?
We always
We
go
always- we
thrifting
always-
every Sunday.
That's where I
Yeah,
got the
that's your
shirt.
thing?
Yeah.
What does it say? I didn't even see it.
I read band books.
I like it.
All right. All right.
And But yeah, and then we did end up. We went out, and that was it. And we went to Chicago and saw Nunslaughter together.
Second
2 days
day.
later.
That was like,
Yeah.
that was our second date. Like, just want to go to Chicago with
was
me?
like,
And I'm like,
nice.
absolutely.
I was like, I'm gonna go anyways, but I have another ticket, you
Yeah.
know, and I was gonna try and find somebody to go with me. And then I was like, you just want to go? You just want to go to Chicago? I've never been to this venue. I've never seen any of these bands. It was like Nunslaughter and Cardiac Arrest, and it was just awesome. Yeah, we drove all the way to Chicago.
Fuck yeah.
Back, and she pretty much didn't leave my house
Correct.
for
West 2nd Street.
yeah.
Yep.
The one that still wants me.
She was
West 2nd
Yeah,
Street.
it was pretty much just slumber party every night after
Yeah.
that. Yep.
and has been since.
Okay.
Obviously,
That's
because we
fucking
lived
awesome.
together.
We got engaged.
Well, shit. So she
got engaged in
basically was
October.
living in West 2nd Street too. Then
She
So
was
she's a part
she
of that
was
now
the
too.
last sister
Yep.
I was going to say.
at West 2nd Street
Fantastic.
for sure.
Man, what a great place.
And then it was like just me and her there because Josh was just kind of back and forth from
Yeah.
like work and his mom's all the time, so he wouldn't even really be there. So it was just us.
Jeez.
And
A bunch of creeks and
Yeah.
whales.
And then we moved. Into the apartment we have now, and it's like an eighth the size
Yeah.
of 2nd Street, and we might be moving over here, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah,
likely.
you said that, and I was like, that'd be fucking hilarious to see.
What,
Lyndon
Logan? No,
fucking
that's not what you
walking
said.
over.
You said this could be bad.
That could be bad.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant
I know, and I
Fucking
agree.
area
'Cause,
ain't great
you know, if I
sometimes.
just have to walk home, I'm probably more likely to have more than just one drink.
To
Right,
drive across
right.
town.
At least occasionally.
Just jump over the fucking fence.
But
You
then-
barely have to jump over.
Yeah, but then I feel
Emily's
bad.
gonna have to drag your ass back first
Like,
time
Just
you move
across
over
the
there.
field there, like, let's go.
I'm coming back home and I'm just crawling
I'll put you on the
because
Husky's back.
likely
have
you'd
them
be able
run
to
you
see
back.
me coming back from like our back window over
Right.
there. But yeah, no, but we got engaged in October.
Nice.
And
August.
that's where we're at. August?
Yep.
August. It
Fucking
was the start of the fall. It was the start of the fall. I don't look. I'm only going to have to remember that for like another few weeks.
Bro, I get
then
it.
you have a
My
new-
memory
yeah,
And then
you
I have
got
to
a
remember the day
worst.
we got married.
Yes.
And
Don't fuck that up.
Dates are the worst for me.
like I kind of always assumed like our fun anniversary would still be Happy Thursday, which is
Oh, yeah,
July
we call
29th.
it Happy Thursdays.
Yeah, even it doesn't land. It's not going to land on
The
Thursday.
Thursday ever.
Okay.
But
Hell yeah.
that's that.
And that's that. That's the end of that story.
And then we posted that
Yeah.
that cute video of us just jamming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we jammed a couple of times at 2nd Street because she has like a pickup that is
On
kind of
my
attached
cello,
to a cello. So I was running her. You remember that back in the day, that silver Digitech pedal Derek used to use?
Yes.
I have the same one, or she has the same one.
Yep.
Okay.
You have it.
Yeah.
And so we ran her cello through that.
Dope.
Through like that shitty, creepy like distortion. Probably the same distortion Derek used if he didn't adjust it at all.
I mean, with the resonance of your cello, it would be pretty easy to make that pretty creepy, just with a slight distortion.
Nasty.
I like
Well,
that.
the
Smart.
pickup is like way too sensitive too, so
I think
there's a
I
lot of
fixed
feedback.
it, though.
Did you?
So, because I just moved it farther away from the bridge. I think that was the problem.
That's
Right.
cool. So we're gonna do
Yeah.
something musically together at some point. We just need to have like the space and like the means to do it. Really,
Yeah, or just tell Dan
get an
Freitag,
apartment.
hey, listen, bitch. You're going to do whatever we say. I made your career.
But yeah,
always
that video
cut a
we
promo.
posted was entirely ad-libbed.
was
Like,
cool.
we set up a chord progression, and then we just kind of went from there. So that
True
was all made up.
musicians.
Yeah.
Really, that's
very
all you
good.
need.
well, it's really
artistic.
funny because
It's artistic.
she knows theory.
Yeah.
because
Right.
she was a music minor, and
Nice.
then so she's trying to explain what she's doing using even like light theory, I would say. and I'm just like,
No,
I'm gonna hit the open string. You do that on
the best
that
way to
thing.
say it, Lance, is in theory, you should know theory. but you don't, and I don't either.
Music theory is the theory that you should know it. But.
Well, I remember Steve Ripley showing us the Wheel of Fifths.
Yeah.
And us just looking at it, and then he's just like, you know you're doing that like really well right now, Logan. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, because he would bust out the acoustic, and then he'd just have me sing, and I just sing shit and just make shit up. And usually it was lyrics about fucking people and fun stuff.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need to know theory to play music. Like,
No.
And that's me with my degree here saying that. So kind of related, but I went out to coffee with my cello mentor from Augie, and I showed her a video of him playing piano, and he doesn't use his thumbs ever. And she's like, that's how Bach played piano. And she called my cello mentor from Augustana, said he's such a Renaissance man.
Yes, he is.
Because he played piano like Bach. So.
Fuck yeah.
And he's like,
No response. Just,
He doesn't give a fuck whatsoever right now.
That was my reaction when she told me. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't either. So, that makes me 3. I could barely play piano because I was forced to for the music minor.
Really good at piano.
I mean, I guess there's a technique for everything, but then there's like 17 of them.
Well,
one of them
correct.
So to your point, you said he doesn't use his thumb. I would watch Zach Damp do power chords, and then he'd use his pinky for everything.
Me and Dan play the same way too.
Yeah, and so do you.
Yeah,
and that is
he
weird
doesn't do
to
it
me.
with the index and the ring like you're supposed to.
But I have a broken finger that doesn't move.
That's true.
And I still play,
too.
So it's like, there is no perfect technique, but then there is the economy, way, which is like, there's economy picking and blah, blah, blah. But I mean the economy way with your phrasing is what it is with everything. So, that's what I was saying. Like Steve obviously went to school for Berklee School of Music, graduated with honors, and he was very theory heavy. But when he showed me that, he's like, "You don't need this. You just have it, whatever it is." And I that's with pro wrestling. That's with everything.
I've always felt that, and my bass instructor kind of said the same thing. And it's like, it's useful. I feel like it's useful if everybody else in the room knows what you're talking about,
right?
And then you have a team of people that you can work towards the same goal in terms of music.
Right.
You can aim to do something, or like, if we did this, that would be interesting, blah, blah, blah. And the same thing happens with people that don't know theory. They're just communicating it differently. And it's like, you don't need blueprints necessarily to build a house.
Right.
But if you wanted to build a house in a very specific way, using or and use variances of different plans, you have that layout, and if you can understand it, then you know what's going on.
So that would be the great thing about you guys doing a project together. Would be Lyndon would come with an idea, and you'd be like, "Doesn't really make sense theory wise."
Well,
I've dealt with that with Jake because Jake knows theory. So Jake will be like, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense. Let me explain why." And then I'm like,
I don't understand. I've never understood that.
Well, it's like on the other hand,
lyric.
No sense makes sense. Yes, actually, that's what he's talking about.
It's like theory's
you don't
useful
need theory to make
if
music.
you're trying to, like orchestral metal, like there's like 27 different parts, and theory helps you keep it organized. I mean, that's when it would be useful, but it's like I grew up listening to like a ton of industrial. So like my dad was super into Kraftwerk, Depeche Mode, Devo. So I got like a lot of my musical interests started there, and then like I branched off into metal, and like black metal, still my favorite subgenre.
God forbid.
Yep, God forbid. I know.
Definitely not black. I get it now. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, they're playing again. They fucking sound phenomenal, bro.
But like you listen to Kraftwerk, and it's like a lot of music theory stuff is not applicable at all, and it doesn't make sense, but it works. So you know, coming from like that background and being classically trained, it's like the more I listen to, the less I feel like I need theory to compose anything. So,
but you have a tool that a lot of people don't have, and you have to acknowledge it.
I mean, imagine, and this might be a weird comparison, but with like wrestling.
Oh yeah,
no, it's
there
not.
We go. Let's bring
at
it
all. It's
Like,
not. Hang on, I can explain this
with
even
spots
right now.
or no spots.
So there. And I'm going to break all of the fucking walls right now. There are seven steps to professional wrestling match. And what fucking sucks, though, this is through storytelling in general. Mm-hmm. And you'll watch movies and they're exact same spot. When you hear these 7 steps, I'm not going to say what they are, but these 7 steps, I'm watching a movie and I'm like, fuck, this is where they're at. Yeah. This is what's happening. It's the up, down, sometimes the hope spots, and then the go home, and then the finish. So like this happens all the time. So you guys were talking about theory. We just kind of like
theory would be psychology in wrestling.
Yes, exactly. So last night, me and Dante kind of just threw that out the fucking window. Yeah. In a way of like how we started our ladder match is how you go to the middle of a story. We started with the middle in a way and then went backwards.
Was this SCW?
Yes. By the way, after almost 20 years, this was my second ladder match fucking ever.
Yeah.
Last night.
You feeling it?
Oh, well, I've not seen you do a lot of like extreme SCW stuff. So that doesn't surprise me really when I think about it.
Well, the Bluegrass Center, right? Yeah. Looks awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Well, we were in Wildwood last night.
Oh, was it Wildwood? Okay.
Wearing the hoodie.
keep going.
So we started because Dante is he's so fucking good and so different. He thinks outside the box. So, but like, yes, we know the blueprint. He was trained the same way I was. He was trained by Colby. He was trained by Nick. We were trained old school. So we know the steps, but sometimes you can kind of throw them out the fucking window and start wherever you want. Because when you are going into the ending of a show, people are fucking tired sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to throw a fucking speedball at them right away. Yeah. Like, bring them in. Come on, let's fucking go. So it's like starting with, like, say a band was the headliner and they start with, like, one of their fucking top songs right away just to pull people in. Yep. You know? The same thing. So, like, we started like we were going to fucking go into a double down. We did a strike. We did a push thing. And then, like, we did a striking thing, like a double super kicked each other in the back of the head, by the way.
Ooh.
And then fucking double clotheslined each other beginning of the match. Roll out, grab double ladders. Down. Normally, right? We called it the double down. We grab ladders, roll in the ring. This is how we're starting the match. So, like, last night, like, there was a lot of just ad-lib just thrown. Like, there was, like, we had our, like you say, you have your theory and you have your, I guess, your story. You know, where you're going.
Exactly.
But the stuff that you throw in, the little magic, little bit, the improv is sometimes like the feel. And like last night, we did a fuckload of feel. And like all of that stuff, oh man, it just felt like magic last night.
That's honestly, such like a luxury with wrestling because I guess in certain musical performances, there are places, opportunities here and there for improv and stuff, but rarely is one guy gonna make, or is a band gonna go, you know what, fuck the third song we're gonna play. We're gonna play this or this song of whatever, blah. Yeah. Like with wrestling, you have the opportunity to just kind of like call that if you want. Yeah. Like even movies have a first, second, and third act, and what wrestling is doing is you're considering all those in between parts too, because of how you want the psychology to go. And I mean, movies have setups and payoffs and those kind of things, which, like you said, that's basic storytelling kind of elements. But like wrestling, you can just, like you said, we just threw all that. We got to a certain point, we threw it out the window because you're paying attention to what's going on in the room. Yeah, because
you have to feed off them and what they're going through, and like if you want to bring it back
with
up.
Music, what is the band that always thought about it like that was Pantera, because what did they do? They would literally, especially I'm just talking about one of my favorite bands of all time, but I'm saying, like, what did they do? They broke their shit up in different ways. They've just had the last part of a riff, right, which was Domination, to start a song, right? And didn't play the whole song, which is like, I'm just saying that they knew when the crowd was going to want what.
Yeah,
and they thought about that. So you see that early on with the Pantera home videos where Phil's writing it out, and then we kick in and you just hit it, and then we'll go into this and we'll just do one riff. Like he's thinking about the psychology of the crowd.
Building them.
Yeah, before. He's not,
There's also something to consider with somebody like Pantera. Let's say Pantera in 1993, whatever, like 94, Prime.
Yeah, like Vulgar Display.
Vulgar Display, between Vulgar Display and
Straight or
Far Beyond Driven.
Far Beyond Driven.
Yeah. Like that's like ultimate. To me, that's like peak.
Yeah,
Pantera,
I agree, 100%.
Right? And there's no internet really for music. Let's say there's literally no internet. If you're listening to anything, it's CD, tapes, or records. Pantera probably CDs or tapes. Yeah. You're listening to that. You're listening to those songs. You've heard those songs over and over and over and over and over again. And then you get to see Pantera again. Because that's what you do. Right. There's not 1,000 shows every weekend like there is now, especially in a bigger market. Yep. So you saw Pantera last year. You're going to see Pantera again this year. And you are one of probably 20 to 30,000 people that is in that position too. Mm-hmm. So you're going to pay to see Pantera because they know that you've seen them a bunch by now, a lot of people, and you've listened to these songs 100 times in the past week. You know all of it. Just playing a set, even for an hour or 90 minutes, or I'm sure Pantera probably played some long as fuck sets at one point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you have to do that stuff at that point. Another band that does that is Primus. Primus spends like half their shows anymore playing like medleys, and they'll play like select chunks of songs and smash them all together.
Yeah. Mm. Because then you make everybody fucking happy with something like that. You hear that one snippet of your favorite fucking song, you're like, yes, that's my favorite part.
And it's different too. You're surprised. Now, I don't want every band to do that. Because I don't, fuck man, I don't know every Cannibal Corpse song by heart. God damn, they, those bigger bands. Like I'm fine with a 45 minute.
But I think you get to a certain, maybe you're in your 8th album, and you're like, okay,
well, yeah,
let's do some shit where all of a sudden Harvester of Sorrow riff comes on, but then it just quits, and then I just spit into a microphone like James Hetfield did. And by the way, when I was a kid waiting for my bus in 4, and I heard that, oh, have said their prayers. But he goes, before that, he goes, oh. By the way, I fucking was like, I'm going to go, and I'm going to fail. Because
I'm going to go to school and fuck it. Who gives a shit?
When they say math, I go... Shit.
And now all this motherfucker gives a fuck about his math. He's like, it's this,
No, that's different, though.
Oh, no. What the fuck do you mean it's different?
It is different. I don't think about it mathematically. I know you can.
It's not different.
I know. He's full of shit. He's full of shit.
It's not different, but I don't think about it that way. And also, by the way, I did go back to school and went to college algebra and fucking aced that shit. It was just because I wasn't motivated. That's what it is about anything in life. If you're motivated, you'll fucking conquer it. Right. I was motivated then or later in my life, and then they said college algebra, and I said, boom, you're done. So, I got it.
So math back in the day in like old school wrestling, like say like Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. This is like foreign language, you guys, anyways. But like they were part of the Four Horsemen.
Well, we talked about strings earlier. But like you didn't know shit about that, bitch.
They would do. I had no fucking idea. But they would do.
Mellow cello.
I had no fucking idea. I just heard like how much a string costs.
That's all you needed to hear. I don't know anything about cello strings either, other than how much they cost.
So like,
double A.
All right, back in the day, they would do this thing 1 2 1 2 1 2. What it was they would do one thing and have the baby face do 2, cut them back down.
Okay.
One thing. And then when they would start going home, it's like 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 4. Like just building to give them more to like make the crowd like, oh shit, they're doing more. And I was like, oh, that's kind of smart.
Have you ever heard of this? Is okay. Here's a weird comparison. Have you ever heard of like sequencing in lifting?
Like, no.
Like where say you're doing curls, right? And you use 3 different numbers. You use 1, 2, and 3. So the first one is up, and you count that. So if let's say you were going to do 2 2 2, so you do 1 2 hold it.
Yeah.
So here's your second number, 2 or 1, 2, and then you count down.
Oh,
and use
okay.
different sequences based on like how you're trying to lift and whatnot. Me and Josh would just mess with numbers and just do whatever. But it's kind of
the hold and release.
Yeah.
Sometimes the release.
What the fuck?
But like,
I mean,
sometimes the workouts when you're high are like so much fucking better. Though.
I've never done it.
100%
I've done it.
100% the way to do it. But that's what that reminded me of because
Be like the only time I would like to get high is like right before I work out.
You're adjusting those sequences based on what you want to happen.
Well, and also we all make the mistake of lifting weights and going fast, and you don't have to.
You don't.
The negative rep.
It's the negative coming down and push up, fast. But like say you're bench pressing, like I said, like bringing it down slow, up fast.
Yeah.
Like that's like, and then you can feel it more. When I was high, I was like, oh my God. And then you adjust yourself right, and you're just like, oh fuck, I hit everything. I could feel all of that.
Dude, like incline benching using like a weird sequence, like just fucking.
See, I'm gonna try this shit. I just want to get high and work out.
And you can find lists of like different sequences and what they are theorized to like do for like
theory.
There we go.
All the way back.
And then back to my match with Dante last night. This kid is literally touring Japan. They fucking in pro wrestling Noah. They put the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship on him. That belt has been held by like fucking Kenta, bro, in Japan.
Nice. I used to love Kenta.
Like it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So he comes back home and he goes back to Japan in May and he's there for 2 months, which is like, dude, that's like 2 months in a whole nother fucking country. Like that's crazy to me. I've never done it. So like
you'd be surprised how easy it probably would be.
Yeah. Well, and then like everybody understands.
They're a lot more modern obviously.
I asked him, I was like, you learn any Japanese? He goes, no.
Yeah,
those motherfuckers know what I'm talking about, but I don't know what the fuck they're saying. I was like, maybe you should learn that.
I mean, like, oh god, we're about to get into language.
Yeah, I was like,
that's my
before that happens, I was going to say Japan is like wildly bilingual.
Yep.
Like, unless you're in like rural Japan, like,
and
even though half the shit you're going to do is on the screen, anyways. So it's like. Yeah. Or like Google Translate on your phone works really well now.
Right.
So
he doesn't have to do any of that. He has a fucking shuttle to take him everywhere. So and this is where I want to go. Okay. Hey, come get him.
And they have a lot of respect there.
Yeah.
And it's a different
gaijin. They call American wrestlers gaijin over there.
That just means foreigner in general. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what else do they call them?
I don't know. Fuck off.
You ain't you're supposed to know.
What else do they call them?
Pieces of shit.
Oh, yeah, because we're Americans. Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not as much as you think.
I think Japanese, they've always respected American wrestlers in a way, too. Kaiju?
That's if you go over there.
I was like, yeah.
If I'm walking around, they go, fucking kaiju.
You go over there, you're the kaiju.
Yeah. That's fucking perfect. What a name. Just puts you in a fucking hood.
Good.
It's fucking hilarious. Oh my god,
my ogre feet. Yeah. anyways,
the
best thing is I work with different everybody at John Deere, and let's just say that joke would not be lost upon the female that works next to me. She'd be like, "Yeah, he's a piece of shit," because they work way harder than us. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah,
Asian people just in general.
Most, I mean, that's part of the culture.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't mean they get less tired.
No.
But anyway,
we're back to Dante Leon. So we're putting our stuff together and talking, and like we're just going through stuff, and he came with like quite a few ideas, but my favorite is like these young guys come with ideas, and then like I'll listen to it and be like, well, let's do this too. And then they're like, yeah. And then like, we just had fun. We did we did a spot, ended up on the stage. By the way, didn't mean to. He jumped off the top rope, hit me, and I just smashed the back of my head into the fucking back of the stage. And for some reason, there's metal there, and it was super fucking loud when I hit it. And I was like, all right, that was cool. I didn't mean to do that, but it was really fucking loud. So I was like, holy fuck, I didn't know that was there. So and we have live commentary, and Knight's like, he just smashed the back of his head on the stage. So we did the whole, I don't know, because nobody goes to independent wrestling shows anymore. Well, I mean, like fans do, but like you guys haven't been to one. There's this thing where we do like the bar, like the bar room, like sit down and punch each other in the face while we're drinking a beer. We haven't ever done that in Iowa City. So we did it on the stage. And we sat down on chairs. He had a beer, I had a beer. We drank it, and I'm drinking. I'm like, by the way, we're at the beginning of the match, but I'm old. I'm like, I'm already blown up, bro. And like they start chanting, chug it, chug it. And I look around, I'm like, you fucking bitches, motherfucker. And I'm like, I give up. He starts going. So when he hits me being the old guy, I put the beer down, jump up, and kicked him in the fucking face. And he fell out of the chair.
Nice.
So like we went back into our spot, and it worked perfectly. I don't know, man. Like I just felt like last night potentially was one of the very best pro wrestling matches I've ever had in my whole life. It was fucking awesome. Like it just felt good.
I'm gonna have to check out that video, buddy.
Dude, like he did the mist. He misted me. Like I've never been that. So come to find out, guess what? He's from Japan. He works in Japan. So like he has these little tablets. And when he misted me, I was like, bro, that's just Kool-Aid. He just fucking spit Kool-Aid in my face.
Wow, that's such a good idea because it's like not like doesn't smell like spit.
Yeah, no. So like he misted me and I fell down and like my thing is ad-libbed. What we didn't talk about is when I was climbing the ladder, I could pretend like I was blind and was reaching in the wrong spot for the belt. And like that wasn't talked about. And like I'm rubbing my eyes, reaching in the wrong spot. And I'm like, fuck, man, like this, we didn't even talk about this stuff, but like it just the little things of like where it's like you get time to think, you know, when you're not planning out the entire fucking match.
Psychology.
The small things that you can add to it,
dude,
make the story so much fucking better.
Every detail.
Yeah. Every detail. Because you can think about it then.
Yeah.
So like he got a good one on me and he did that old school like he kind of did. Remember the Shawn Michaels off the top rope with the ladder and smashed Razor Ramon?
Yeah.
But to protect me, he jumped to the side, but I was laying on another ladder. So when he did it, it was like it sandwiched me with the two ladders. And like I just sat up and yelled as loud as I could. This is why I barely have a voice. And like they were like, "Were you okay?" I was like, "Dude, that thing did not fucking hurt me at all." I was like the least painful thing in the whole match. Like, but like I was like, "Well, I'll just yell way louder because it didn't really hurt me." But we fought on the upper bowl area where there's like the pool tables and shit. We fought up there. We did a spot where he was going to try to climb because we had it. A cord stretched from one side of the bar to the other bar that was holding up the fucking belt. He was going to try to climb that. So I stopped him because realistically, if he would have grabbed a hold of it, it would just snapped and he would hit the ground. So he's like, as soon as I touch it, grab me, please, because I don't even want to let people to think I'm going to try to climb across this. So we were fighting up there, and you know how there's this set of stairs when you first come in, you come around and come up, right? You know what I'm talking about in Wildwood?
Yeah, when you walk off to the left.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're fighting up there. He steps up onto the ledge like he's gonna fucking jump off it and hit me. And he's like, "Stop me!" And I'm like, "All right, I got you." And then he pushed me off. This motherfucker ran on the ledge and Liu Kang drop kicked me up there in front of everybody. And as he's doing it, I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck is he? This guy's fucking crazy."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, he's just gonna jump down. He just wanted me to push me away so he can get down." No, motherfucker was like, "Fuck it, I'll run the ledge." And then I was like, "All right, he's going to do something crazy." He pushed me down the stairs. I actually took falling down the stairs, and I took like 4 of them. I was like, "Ow, fuck that!" And I slid down on my ass the rest of them.
You never want to fall on some Wildwood ever.
I haven't been to wrestling at Wildwood, and I had not even considered using like any of the surrounding, like the stairs and like the balcony and shit.
Yeah,
One thing I wanted to say, because
built in like a barrier. You know, there's the floor and then where you can sit. Like that's perfect for the fans because they can't pass that.
I feel like not only that, it's like it looks like obviously it's wooden, but it reminds me of like Mad Max kind of like. It's, you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Yeah.
That's
you
crazy.
guys could do that.
You're right. So I didn't even think about there's nobody on the floor then because it's just the barrier and then the 3 foot probably a floor.
Just
and
the space, so it's like perfect.
Ring.
It's perfect.
That's so cool.
So we can't hit fans.
I mean, all
So you have a shit ton of people like hanging over the barrier, like everybody, the whole crowd's around the barrier.
Yeah,
that's sick.
It's really rad.
Oh, I gotta now. I mean,
there's
I
no
gotta
cage. There's a wrestling ring, but you know what would be cool also? Like I keep thinking is like if they had a better lighting system in there for you guys, that would definitely help.
Lighting system is fantastic there.
Yeah, the lighting is good.
Great.
It's the sound system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't see your show, but I assume, again, it'll be on the internet and I'll be able to check it out.
I hope somebody recorded. I can get it from Sean eventually, but dude, I do want my hands on that match. It was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
We got to fucking put over that match.
Like
if it's your favorite match.
Like, I just haven't had one like that in so long for somebody to push me while I'm trying to I'm old now. You know what I mean? This young guy's he's taking off. Right. He's in Japan now. Like he's going, So like, and he was like, well, let's just have like a 1990s ladder match, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? But like we didn't do a lot of over the top spots, I would say. Like I think everything meant something. There are so many times where you watch wrestling, you're like, why the fuck did he do these 5 steps to get back to where he was a second ago or like a minute ago? Like, why do that? Like, why waste movement? It's stupid. So like I was also taught that young in wrestling is like, don't waste movement. Right. When you're just being a busybody to be a busybody, it's like you're just blowing yourself up for no fucking reason. It's stupid.
I do that with music all the time. Why do I want to have all these?
I think it applies to any kind of. I think it applies to any kind of creative process where you're going from point A to point B, either in storytelling or a song or something.
Sometimes too much is too much.
Yeah, sometimes
there is such thing.
Well, I mean, think about all the metalcore from fucking 2007.
Oh my god!
Breakdown.
You're gonna have to give me an example.
Verse, chorus, breakdown.
There were at one point there were like 2 or 3 breakdowns.
Well, it's just like that's my bitch. That's my bitching about breakdowns is just like, why is that there?
Yeah.
When you listen to something like Future Breed Machine, where that part, it is led up to that, and there's
actual story.
I feel like you're talking like a
even
breakdown
Pantera
was a vocal, like. Because there were so many, like Unearth had like so many where there were vocal
Endless
breakdowns
Fight,
or whatever. Korn, obviously, they half the time he'd repeat the same thing, and then it would be a breakdown.
It's very similar, actually. Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that it's all bad, but everything should have a purpose.
Those bands that did it before. Like built it better, exactly. And then everybody 100%. Was like, "Well, let's just do that." But like 3 in one song.
Metallica,
yeah.
I mean, prime example, probably the best possible example.
Yeah,
like going back that far, and there's some Slayer songs that kind of have it too. It's like the thrash did that. They learned how to do build-ups and fucking payoffs at the end of those songs and stuff. I mean, Judas Priest even listen to fucking Steeler. Like there's that the last fucking minute and a half of the song is just and it just goes.
Telling a story.
It's so good. Yeah, there's a climax. It's not just here's this dorky
Lyndon
fucking
said it, I didn't say it.
easy part.
I need to make you listen to Brahms. Reason being is it took him 20 years to write his first symphony. I think his first one. And I played it in college. It was the longest piece I've ever played. It was about an hour and a half. It was all 4 movements all together. It was the second half of the concert. Just hour and a half of playing.
What was that?
Well, he was a composer in the 19th century.
No, I mean like what piece?
His first symphony.
First symphony?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's about an hour, 20 minutes.
You've heard it.
I know
for sure.
Maybe. But the way Brahms wrote stuff,
sure.
it's like he was very self-conscious about modulating from key to key.
Well, remember, Alicia
So,
Marie was in the symphony, St. Ambrose Symphony.
Yeah.
So, first chair, clarinet. But either way, love symphonic music. Myself, I've just put a few up and I go, ooh, I don't know if any of this is right. It isn't. It's all fake instruments anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You should listen to Shostakovich. That got Lyndon and
That you should.
Shostakovich.
It's aggressive.
Yep.
And it's, yeah.
Yeah,
None
Russian.
of it I had heard either. Which
Any
isn't saying any
Russian
of it.
classical is very much
Isn't that kind of weird? It makes sense though, right?
Weird. Yeah,
Because
I'd call it
they're-
weird.
they have
Cold,
a
angry
harder
country.
life.
Yeah, even
Tragedy
like older.
breeds awesome ingenuity and I guess just inspiration, right?
Yep. I mean, going back to before Shostakovich, so like Borodin, 19th century. My favorite opera is Prince Igor, and it talks about the Mongol invasion of the Kipchaks, which were in Kazakhstan. And even for like 19th century opera music, like, you know, the divide between East and West in Europe is like super apparent there. And it doesn't sound like anything else. Like Borodin does not sound like Wagner, like Ride of the Valkyries.
That's what I was going to say. Wagner for me was like I would say, technical badass.
There's a lot of technical.
Oh my God!
Well,
That
a lot
dude
of
was
like
the
audition.
fucking arpeggios from hell. Vinny Van Malmsteen.
Yep, Lohengrin. Well, a lot of like
I love that
audition
one.
excerpts are from Lohengrin and Parzival. And,
Shug went to sleep.
I'm here. I'm here.
I mean, honestly, like I love classical music because they were literal virtuosos. We forget about that word. A virtuoso
Kind of where it came
actually
from.
exist. So some of them here's what sucks. Some of them died before they were considered virtuosos, which sucks. But like, you got to remember people in their fucking prime that were like,
Imagine
everybody wants to go see this brother.
like,
you know,
nowadays you can write something and somebody has probably done something somewhat similar, but imagine those dudes were literally breaking ground in music.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes and no. I mean, Vivaldi copied himself 700 times.
Well,
at least.
a lot of
Vivaldi,
artists
though.
do that shit.
Mozart copied himself.
Fucking A.
that's where
700 times.
also where that started.
What
But
they
I
say,
mean, like,
In Flames writes the same album all the time.
they haven't written a good one in
A long time, sure.
That's great.
Yeah, it is.
I never give a
I
fuck
liked Colony.
about Colony, so have fun.
See, again, this guy's a cunt.
No, that's how I feel about Clayman. That's how I feel about Clayman.
Oh, that's
You
because
Clayman
everybody like
motherfuckers.
sucks off
I don't give a
Clayman.
fuck about Kelly Man either.
That's that's
Really?
I mean, that's silly. That's
Whatever.
silly to say.
Yeah, it is silly
But
to say.
anyways,
fun.
I mean, she was showing me like old music, like notation, like music notation from
like the
before it
medieval
was-
vellum
Yeah,
stuff,
before there's like music theory.
Yeah.
You know.
This is before there were like measures. So the way like plain chant was written.
Clavinova.
It was just, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Very good. SAT word.
I'm like, listen to this. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Logan said something smart. All right.
Full retarded. Because my girl calls me retarded all the time, so I can say the retarded word now. Anyway.
Honestly, a lot of old medieval music is very looks like guitar tabs. Well, because there's no measures, and like rhythm is measured by how close together the notes are. So,
Right.
which is interesting.
Let's just say Green Sleeves was not really Green Sleeves.
It wasn't. You
It
know
was-
green sleeves.
Green Sleeves.
I don't know what you
Everybody.
mean.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying.
I'm saying
I have heard
what
that
the
song.
first rendition of Green Sleeves was not Green Sleeves.
Oh, probably not.
It was talking about everybody dead.
Yep.
And again, I mean, it's the same with pro wrestling, you know, in a sense, because you have an evolution of people doing different stuff. What you did in your match, what he did in his story with Pit Lord is telling a story in a different way to a different crowd and a different time.
So
So we're talking about time periods with what she's saying, and there's so many different ones.
I mean,
piano used to be called clavinova, right?
right.
And And that was the first.
I didn't know
that was the first piano. So when I mentioned that, that's what I mean. So it sounded completely different. I've heard a clavinova. It doesn't really sound like a modern piano, like a grand piano. You know what I mean? Like a Steinberg piano. Right.
Well, because they were using those in like chamber orchestras.
Right.
Well, the modern piano didn't come about till like the 19th. It was a piano forte before the piano was invented. And
so think about think about the room. So we were just talking about the room of Wildwood and how cool that is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that is the 18th step of thinking about your event. You've been a booker, brother.
Right.
You haven't been a booker, but you want to be a booker.
Right.
Think about the noise. Think about your place. Like if it's outside, that's a whole nother problem.
Yeah, and then you
So back
the
then,
sound isn't
they had
captured
clavinova
as much.
or they had what she said.
Yeah.
And they also had to contend with, is this like what type of wood? Mahogany? Like what is there reverb here?
Oh,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, especially, are we gonna put a choir next to me? Are we gonna, and they thought about the sound of the entire thing. That's what I'm saying with soundmen today. They might not know that because
Wagner's the best example because the Bayreuth Opera House was specifically built to like accommodate like these giant orchestras. Because really, like the modern day orchestra comes from like Wagner, like and all these grand, huge things, giant choirs, like massive productions, and no other like. I guess venue. We're just going to call it a venue.
By the way, let me correct myself. It might have been Vivaldi who's the shredder. Shit.
Well, I mean, they all are in like some respect.
Created some things on guitar that like Yngwie Malmsteen,
Well, I mean, it's
well, yeah, Baroque guitar is like amazing.
The
It's
Baroque
beautiful.
period.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Everybody was Baroque.
Yeah.
And that period. Everybody killed everybody. Anyway.
It's true. I mean, it's true. Like Vivaldi we don't know where he's buried. We don't.
Exactly.
There's a lot of composers we don't know
in a
where
ditch.
they're buried.
He got drunk. It was fucked.
I mean, probably
Fell
for
in a
them,
ditch.
probably did just happen.
Yep.
So some guy just swept.
But yeah.
over. My whole family just died from the plague. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
But
Well,
the
I don't
fact
think there's
that,
plague around when Wagner was around. I could be wrong.
What was it?
I don't think there
plague?
was plague around when Wagner was around.
Bubonic plague was
it?
still
Okay.
around. I
Got
mean,
bit
it was a
by
little
a rat.
more. It was a little more contained in Europe than it was.
A ring rat.
Everyone forgets who saved everybody. A fucking plumber. Plumbers became the thing that made sanitary plumbing.
Yep.
That's what you are.
Yes, I'm a plumber.
You're saving people one
I'm
by
not
one.
a son of a plumber. I'm a plumber.
You're plumb correct.
They're not going to get that at all, but you get it.
I get it. Dusty Rhodes, buddy.
Yeah.
One of the greatest. Let me ask you, Emily.
Yes.
Are you a pro wrestling fan whatsoever?
Have you ever watched it anyway?
I have. I mean, I have a cursory understanding. We'll go with that.
Okay.
So-
All right.
Okay, I'll take that.
So do you have a pro wrestler in mind that you've ever, been like, wow, that's fucking entertaining, whatever he was doing?
I mean,
Or she?
I couldn't name any names off the bat. My old boss from video games, etc., Mike, I used to go over to his house and like we would watch some stuff because he's super into it. And then I got into it, because you talked about like the storytelling aspect of it, Shane. Like I didn't know that was a thing. Like I was completely naive to it.
Psychology.
And then, and then it's like I got into it and I was like, wow, I'm invested now because I need to know what's going on in the story.
It's not just a game. So I don't think so.
They sponsor SCW.
Yeah.
Video game etc. sponsors SCW. It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
So that's the thing. Like I always tell all the students, it's like, all right, so instead of having a weekly episode for a television show, we don't have that luxury. All right. So we have to tell these stories sometimes monthly. So, and like sometimes maybe twice a month. So that we have these people have to be invested in our stories. I'm like you don't have to go out there and do all this nonsense for them to want to come back. It's all like last night, like the finish of our match was we built a tier for me to climb across, climb up the ladder.
That's so
the
cool.
ending of the match was him, where I headbutted him and I yelled, "Stay down, kid," because he called me an old man on Twitter. So I said, "Stay down, kid." And when he grabbed my pants, I looked at the crowd and shook my head, and I turned around and he goes, "Come on." And I kicked him in the fucking head and he fell over the top rope to the floor and I climbed up and grabbed the belt.
Love it.
So, like, dude, like little things. We didn't do shit, realistically. Honestly, that match, we barely really realistically did anything, a lot of improv, but the storytelling of it was fucking there. And that's why I felt like it was a piece of something that I felt like magic. Like if it was just something that I can't wait to fucking have on video. It's just good.
I mean, you sold me on kick in the head. I mean, that's like...
I got kicked in the head like 5 times last night.
Every time somebody...
I don't know what it was, because it's like, usually it's all about protecting myself, but Dante does this thing where he does, like, he puts you in the turnbuckle and then runs at you and does a hook kick with his left. And I was just like, oh, fuck it, I'll take it. And when he kicked me, all of his heel behind my ear, back of my head, I'm like, oh, fuck, should have threw up a hand. That was stupid.
It reminds me when somebody needs to get big and bashed. Lyndon just kicks them right in the fucking head.
I've never kicked
And I want to say, though...
just kick him in the chest. Dude,
you know, obviously we're getting to the point, we're getting pretty close to the point on the YouTube hour. But I want to say, though, especially with Pit Lord, the first time I met you, Em, was that you were up doing the merchandise for this bastard kid, Lyndon Ehlers. And not only was it the most professional shit I've ever seen, but I was like, yeah, there's no way Lyndon did it. I'm just kidding.
The way it was set up, you mean?
I'm giving you a fib.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm the part-time accountant. I am. I really am. I'm like the fuck is this change bag? There's like a Burger King coupon and like $2, and then I got really pissed off. So
She does think of the things that we miss or would miss all the time, and like you have change in the bag.
Well, listen, I threw dollars at you. I don't want to be disrespectful. I did it for Lyndon. It had nothing to do with you. I just started throwing dollars because I was drinking, and it was fun.
That was
I want to say, though,
Beer Stoop show.
Oh man, Beer Stoop. No, that was at the fucking last one.
Oh, that's right. You said last time you'd seen her.
You booked.
Yeah.
River Raccoon
Motel.
God, my goodness. Anyway, yes, that was a great place, great show. Everybody hopefully got paid handsomely because you guys were amazing.
It was killer.
Oh man, Shuggy and I were there.
But we have so much money. It's fucking crazy.
She probably bought a fucking Clavinova with it.
I mean, like
from the 18th century.
by a
Me
harpsichord.
and Dan have been like,
Oh man,
racking our brains
wish.
trying to decide what we're gonna do because we have a lot of money to work with in terms of like stuff. So it's gonna be cool.
you got a lot of people also trying to be, in the same movement, I guess is the best word. We're all trying to make momentum as far as life and what we do artistically.
Wayne's killing it.
Oh my God, dude, West End
my
Wayne.
goodness.
He's blowing the fuck up.
Or was
That's
that West
the
End
fucking
Wayne?
greatest
This is a
thing.
different person.
Oh, okay, well, I'm not fucking. We break the fucking fourth wall around
do
here.
we?
I'm fucking A. Come
I'm
on,
so
God.
excited about it. I love it so much.
Dude, it's so great.
Oh, that last video in Bettendorf with the cop.
exactly.
Like, oh my god.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Dude, it's the funniest shit.
I felt the anxiety.
Me too.
Too.
Yeah.
Let's go.
How many
Let's
times are you
go.
driving over there and you're like, oh
Let's
man,
go.
fuck, I gotta go.
Why do they have an SUV? I lived in Bettendorf for a while. Why do they have
It's just like I feel I owe people money.
But yeah, no, it's everybody's
does,
doing
so-
shit.
He owes me money for coming on this show, but that's fine. Anyway, just kidding. Weston Wang hasn't come on this show yet, actually. Now that we say that.
now we have to have West
That's a
End
good
Wang
idea.
on.
Weston Wang and da-na-na.
Oh my God.
Weston Wang.
We were talking about this and I'm like, dude, I don't know that song. What the fuck are you talking about?
Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
Should I actually make Pet Shop Boys that song and then send it to... I thought about this because I could do that. I get all fake instruments, so I don't think
Logan
I don't
just
think
needs
there's
to
a
start
legality.
writing jingles for fucking
Be like,
companies.
Weston
could,
Boys of
honestly.
Davenport.
Yep. I'd say go for it. I mean,
Do it?
Yeah, do
Fuck it. All right, I'll
Why
do
not?
it.
Make
Do it.
money, bro.
Well, you
Wow.
can make that the new theme song for the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could.
Yeah.
Our show?
Yeah.
Oh, we
this
got
show.
plenty of theme songs for this show.
Yeah, I think we need to do something. I think what we need to do
Cello.
Well,
Heck yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
I'm a little
I was
biased,
gonna say we
but-
should.
No. Hold on. Let me cut you off again. I've never done it once. How about we have a 15-minute cello solo,
Oh, I could do that.
and then the episode starts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, fantastic.
And we won't even explain it at all.
Gives a shit. Why do you have to
Especially
explain
for this episode.
One of her original pieces.
But
Just
it'll
fucking
be,
play
it'll
it.
be,
It'll be great.
It'll be, what will it be?
No, one of
it'll
her
be-
original pieces. It's got to be from her.
It could be that,
I would
or
say.
it could be just the rhythm section is decapitated. And we'll do something probably like,
This motherfucker's
I'm
thinking
sorry.
too hard,
Yeah, I'm
bro.
thinking too hard.
Come on. Come on.
I have all of the drums for that. I can literally just put it in MIDI and then, oh man. By
By the way, it's
song you were
fucking rad
talking
as
about.
fuck.
Well, you could easily find like a shreddy Vivaldi piece and
That's
just
true.
put drums over. Well, the Vivaldi double cello concerto in G minor, most shreddy piece I've
Right.
ever played. Because there's 2 solo cellos and it sounds so rad, and it's one of my most favorite pieces to play. So
Have you ever played Black Star?
no,
Oh, okay. Have you ever played? Obviously, I have
You do not even answer
Becker's my
any of
favorite,
these.
so whatever.
From here on, it's just
Jason
gonna be
Becker, buddy.
nonsense.
It's all bullshit.
Now, obviously, Yngwie Malmsteen did Black Star as well.
Yeah.
But oh my God, if you guys ever super bored and you want to fucking watch something amazing, watch Yngwie Malmsteen with any symphony. They're all on YouTube now. But I would say Perpetual Burn with Jason Becker used to just get me up in the morning, you know? And I know that sounds stupid, but hey, this is what we do.
Yeah.
right?
Stupidity.
No, I mean, like,
anyway.
you know, everybody has their certain thing they want to listen to in the morning, you know?
Right. For a while, it was shred for me, you know, and I think that's most young people that are trying to start on a guitar, they're like, or any instrument, they're like, well, what's the best of this?
Or in
Like,
your mind, you
you
think
know
is
what-
the best, right?
Well, I wasn't wrong. Obviously, Alan Holdsworth. Hey, play Alan Holdsworth. Nobody can.
Well, that's not true.
Legato.
There's probably plenty of people that can play Alan Holdsworth parts.
When Frederick Thorndale was like, I don't know what he was doing on this.
Yeah, well, but
I
it's,
had to
it's
look it up.
jazz also.
You know,
I mean,
it is jazz.
but
It's improv.
I mean,
nobody's
it's-
going to do what he does every time.
No,
And
but
that's kind of my
I
point.
still believe that, you know, like Alan Holdsworth was amazing, but I mean, I wouldn't say that like he will always be the best. So, like,
When I say the best, I
literally
just
the best
mean that-
musicians that exist that have ever existed exist right now. That's the
correct.
way. For
had that
any art,
conversation.
for any fucking kind of art or anything like that, performance, the best that ever was exists in the moment.
You
That's
have to be
literally
alive.
how it is.
You're right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's there will never be a single.
It's always for progression. If you're not
there's
progression from
credit
the
due-
past,
There's credit due to to people in the past, like Michael Jackson with pop music and such. But
Ric Flair with pro wrestling.
But they will not. We will not. Literally, there's no reason to ever look back on somebody like that and be like, he will always be the best. That like maybe the same ground will not be broke, but. Then what are you saying? What are you asking? What's the best? And
It's all
what do you
nostalgia.
consider-
People get wrapped up in nostalgia.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
So it's the same thing even happened with pro wrestling right now.
Yeah.
So like the longest, to me, the longest running character who's completely evolving all the fucking time and now has his own band is Chris Jericho. At one point, people will go, Chris Jericho's the number one on my Mount Rushmore of pro wrestlers of all time.
I feel like it's probably
Which makes
true.
sense.
You know what I mean? Like this guy is like he's fucking going still, and he's going strong, and he's doing well, keeping up with all these fucking young guys who want to do a million things. And Chris is going, okay, we're going to put these in the right spot for it to make sense. So every time when Chris Jericho gets in the ring with one of these young guys, I'm so fucking excited. Did you see the match he had with?
I'm just saying no already.
No, yeah, but well, anyways, this fucking kid was handcuffed and behind his back and did a suicide dive through the ropes with no hands and just fucking tucked his head for Jericho to fucking catch him.
Nice.
Like, that's scary as fuck.
I mean, that's
I would
trust.
never do that.
That's
I would
trust.
never do that.
What if Chris Jericho asked you to do it?
I would for Chris Jericho. I'd do it for Chris
I
Jericho.
met him and I asked him to do a lot, and he did everything.
Like, I'll do that.
He literally
I'm
called
probably
people
not going to buy
for
a
no
Fozzy
reason.
album.
Oh, he did
Yeah,
do
he
that.
fucking called.
He made fun of Logan, by the way.
Yeah, he made fun of me for sure. Super cool.
So Jericho,
So much to make fun of.
Jericho was
a
wearing
fucking
Doc
13-year-old
Martens,
idiot.
and Derek was wearing Doc Martens, and apparently Logan goes, "You guys wear the same boots," and Jericho looks at him and goes, "I bet you were really good at the matching game."
Yeah. Yes, that did happen. But again, he looked at me also and was like, "Hey, you're going to be something
But
one
he
day.
did. He did
You're gonna
talk
have
to you
your own
guys.
podcast."
He talked to you guys. No, fucking bullshit. But he did talk to you guys a lot more because you guys were talking about music instead of
Right.
wrestling.
Yeah, he definitely was like, okay, thank God. This guy was, obviously Derek we had some sort of band shirt on. And then this is when CD players were there. So I had Shadows Fall of One Blood.
Which is still fucking fantastic.
And he was like, that fucking album's amazing. And I was like, oh, fuck, you actually like listen to new shit. This dude's cool. He likes music, and we just grooved on that. It was just so cool to like think that he would call because Mike was obsessed with Megan at the time, his now wife, who at the time was not his wife. And he was like,
Thank you for clarifying. Sure.
Just had a crush on her at the time.
oh, yeah. And he just goes, hey, what's her name? And Mike's like, Megan. And he goes, I like her a lot. And then he goes, okay, I'm going to call her. And then he just calls her. And then he leaves a message. Hey, this is Chris Jericho. And this guy here, Mike Ineichen, really loves you. And he wants to let you know that. So just pursue him and blah, blah, blah. But how cool is that?
Dude, that's right. Right, it's like
we're 14.
People get
15 or
paid
whatever.
for that now. They call them what, cameos?
Yeah.
You can pay
Yeah.
somebody to say your name or whatever the fuck.
I mean,
it
we're
is.
at Gold's Gym, and he's like, I didn't think this was going to. He's like, I don't have to work out? Fuck. These guys gave me the excuse. I didn't see him work out one fucking time, by the way, because of us.
Well, I mean, and Jericho in person is like even shorter than me, I'd say, or maybe the same height, but bigger fucking human being than me. Like he
Right.
just be like you don't see it on TV.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's wide.
you don't see it on TV because he looks smaller than everybody else. But like when you see him in person, you're like, that's a fucking short, jacked ass fucking dude. Like what the fuck?
I'd be really surprised. I
how
always
about
thought
this?
of him as being a
Guys, it's
No,
at
it's not.
the point
Not
right
at all.
now we have to quit it for the YouTube. I want to say if there's anything you want to put over, let's put some stuff
shit. I am
over. It's
my
been
God,
a great
I-
episode
hang
on
on.
YouTube.
Oh,
The after hours will be even
my
better if you're sticking around.
phone
Either way,
now.
if you're not, me and Shug will. Oh, great. Here we go. We got a freaking husky running in. Anything to put over. I'm going to put this up, and I hope it gets everything.
What?
But we'll see.
Our stuff, yeah.
All right. Oh, unfortunately, no M. I got to get the other camera there. So we do have Pit Lord here.
Okay,
Two different
so
shows.
Let me just. I have everything written down here
Okay.
because I don't think everything is up there.
Hawkamania just happened
Yes, sir.
with Shuggy.
last night.
By the
And
way,
like,
you gotta
lucky
put,
you.
you have to put music under this when we do plugs.
What?
You gotta put like music or something under when we do plugs right here. You should. Because holy shit.
Yeah? Is it boring?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This.
You can play some Pit Lord underneath it or something. Come on.
Anyway, so
Well, it has to be some cello to cello the fuck out.
Shostakovich.
And that's the fucking name of the episode. Cello the fuck out!
Okay, so
I'm kind of cool with that, actually.
Oh, okay.
let me see if I can do these.
Are we agreed that it's cello the fuck out?
Oh yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah. All right. Hold on, shut up. So, March 29th, where Pit Lord is at Skylark with casket robbery, and then April 22nd will be in Dubuque at Monks. There's not a flyer for that yet. With Liquefied Decomposition and at least one more band. And then April 23rd, the next night, Obsidian Hammers in Des Moines. At Bog's Hole Tavern. And then May 4th through the 7th, Pit Lord is going to Kansas City, and then Memphis, Tennessee, and Birmingham, Alabama, 4th through the 7th.
Fuck yeah.
Most of those.
Holy fuck, you put up way more than I'm just going to
May
say.
20th, hold on, I'm not done. May 20th.
Oh, shit.
Obsidian Hammer is going to be in Chicago. That still has yet to be confirmed. That'll be at Reggie's in Chicago. June 4th, Obsidian Hammer is going to be playing in town. That has yet to be announced. June 10th, Hitlord has a show in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That has yet to be announced. And then July 1st, you have that up there, Hitlords with Disinter and Work Supplier.
Fantastic.
Awesome band name.
Oh,
Yeah. Disinter is...
Casket Robbie
no, that's in like a week and a half.
Okay.
No, Casket, that's March 29th.
Fuck yeah.
So that's...
Come to this show, boys and ladies.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Boys and berries.
Illusion of Fate's really fucking cool, too. Also, Empty Graves rules. And then our new music video is probably coming out in the next week or so.
Fuck yeah.
So I don't know yet.
I'm hoping to have Zeno on because I know that they're doing that as well.
Yeah.
But Shuggy, you got anything?
I'm just going to put over my next show. Because I'm not going to pull up all the fucking dates. It's too much.
Is it Lucky You right here?
Nope, that was Friday. That already happened. I main evented in Chicago for the first time in a very fucking long time.
Oh yeah.
It was alright. It's cool. Like, we had a simplistic match. It is what it is. Like, there's nothing compared to what I had last night.
Right.
But it was good. It was a really good match. So, and promoter was very excited about it. So,
Love it.
but my next show is AAW Epic in Marionette Park at Bourbon Street for AAW March 24th. And that's the one I'll just put over because it's like the next one. And then, no matter what, like, we see our shit up there. I have no idea what I'm doing on that show. Yeah. But I know the story we're about to tell. And I don't want to give it away. So,
I almost feel like, but
I'm excited. I'm just excited to where it's going to go. And I have so much free reign as my character to where I'm going that I'm very, very excited. So,
okay. Emily, you got anything to put over? Brother or sister? Just put something over.
Everyone should listen to Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony.
Yeah,
The fourth movement, at least. The fourth movement, at least.
Lyndon knew that was coming.
No,
Fourth movie gets you go.
Well, yeah, the finale. Oh my goodness, it's just. It's very aggressive. It's all over the place.
It's like being with Lyndon Ehlers.
Yes. Well, I mean, that symphony is like my top 5 favorite pieces of music of all time. So
okay,
not number 1, but it's way up there. But
nice. It's been awesome. I want to say in closing, obviously check out Wrastlin Music and Life. I'm going to put this over till I die. What we're trying to do here is obviously put over brothers and sisters. We're trying to make sure that people that come on the show will stay in some realm on a page, that they will obviously be put over in some way. Look at the Weston Wang right here. Dave's still there. I got a few brothers and sisters I got to put over, 2 sisters now, in this page, and they will be directed to what they're doing. And what I'm saying is everybody here is doing something. Everybody here is going to do something. They are in the process. And just keeping on, man. We got Wrastle with Music and Life with as many times as we can do it. And I just want to say that I'm really, really proud of the fact that people keep connecting in so many ways, like a Spider-Verse. And we put that over last time.
It's a web, man.
It's a spider web happening, and I'm so glad that you guys keep watching. And for the 100 fans, I hope there's 1,000 more. Let's keep it on going. All right. Love you.